an Appleton Estate Rum Experience. It all kicks off on Thursday, June 18 at Bio with Rum and Cocktail Festival from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. There will be Appleton cocktails, Appleton rum punches, and Campari cocktails, apparel, spirits, and more. Then, on Friday, June 19, the Rum Room at Zemi comes alive for an Appleton rum tasting experience from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. featuring Appleton decades-old rum. 12 years, 15 years, 17, 21, and 60-year rums. Price per person $40. Be sure to take advantage of a 3-day experience package going for only $150. The experience continues on Saturday, June 20th at Zemi Beach House with rum and rhythms from 5 to 10 p.m. There will be barbecue buffet with grilled lobster, cocktail reception from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Musical entertainment by DJ Bless, DJ Dini, and DJ Quest. For this, you pay only $97. Reservations required. Call 584-0001. Spread the good news around this weekend. Zemi Beach House, in collaboration with Tropical Distributors and Appleton Estate Rums, presents Tales from Black River. This one will be extra special. Up here, my girl, let me get on real bad. Okay, so Klass FM in the morning time. It's the lovely one, Thursday morning again. Good morning to you. Welcome to Klass FM, and it's now time for the Klass newscast for this morning. I'm DJ Hammer, and I am your presenter. First, a look at the main points of the news. From the local scene, the Anguilla House of Assembly will be celebrating its 50th anniversary from 28 June to 3rd July under the theme 50 years honoring our past, shaping our future. And from the region, Cuba's powerful Communist Party, or the PPC, a call an unscheduled session Wednesday, a rare occurrence that comes days after President Miguel Diaz-Canel announced an economic reform package aimed at opening up the struggling island's economy. And from the sports world, Lionel Messi marked his record 6th World Cup appearance with his first hat-trick at the FIFA tournament, also becoming the joint highest scorer at the World Cup as the Argentinian beat Algeria 3-0 to open the defense of their global crown. This is the Klass FM in the morning time, and now the local news in detail. The Anguilla House of Assembly will be celebrating its 50th anniversary from 28 June to 3rd July 2026 under the theme 50 years honoring our past, shaping our future. A week of activities will be held to celebrate this golden jubilee. On Sunday, 28 June, staff and members of the Anguilla House of Assembly will attend a special church service at the Pro Cathedral of St. Mary's, the Valley, at 4 p.m. The opening ceremony will be held on Monday, 29th of June at the Atlin Noraldo Harrigan Parliamentary Building in the Valley, commencing at 9 a.m. Then on Tuesday, 30th June, members of the House of Assembly will engage in an educational outreach exercise that will include a visit to all primary schools on the island. Wednesday, July 1st, will be a trivia night at the Atlin Noraldo Harrigan Parliamentary Building in the Valley, commencing at 6:30 p.m. Then on Thursday, July 2nd, members of the House will embark on an island-wide visit to all senior citizens' homes from 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. The Anguilla House of Assembly 50th anniversary week of celebrations will conclude with a special sitting of the House on Friday, July 3rd at the Atlin Noraldo Harrigan Parliamentary Building. As we commemorate this historic milestone, the general public is invited to be a part of this special week of activities marking the Golden Jubilee, at least from the Anguilla House of Assembly states. Superintendent of the Royal Anguilla Police Force, Shem Wills, is currently pursuing a master's degree in criminal psychology at the University of Portsmouth in England under the prestigious Chevening Scholarship Program. Recently participated in an educational visit to Interpol headquarters in Lyons, France. The visit provided a valuable insight into international policing and global crime issues with presentations and briefings covering topics such as human trafficking, organized crime, counterterrorism, artificial information intelligence, firearm trafficking, and crimes against children. The program also allowed students to engage directly with international law enforcement professionals and gain a deeper understanding of the collaborative efforts required to combat transnational crime. The Royal Anguilla Police Force said it is proud to see Superintendent Shem Wells continuing to expand his knowledge and represent Anguilla on the international stage. Meanwhile, several officers of the RPF recently successfully completed the Overseas Territories Investigation Program Level 1, facilitated by the College of Policing. The structured training program is designed to strengthen investigative standards, enhance decision-making, and promote professional practice in line with recognized policing frameworks and best practices. The RAPF remains committed to investing in the professional development of the officers to ensure the continued delivery of effective, accountable, and high-quality policing services to the people of Anguilla. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Administration, Martha Demis Adams, has been explaining the government scholarship program process to the people of Anguilla. The Anguilla government is this year offering 30 scholarships in various fields. The PS Public Admin furnished the scholarship details during an appearance on the Government Just the Facts radio program on Tuesday evening.
I think it's important to note how we determine what scholarships are going to be issued annually. And that is done through a team, a committee, known as the Training Committee, that comprises a cross-section of persons within the public service, but also within statutory bodies and important organizations that contribute to overall nation building. So on that committee, we have representation from the Chamber of Commerce. We have representation from the Anguilla Tourism Association. We have representation from the Anguilla Tourist Board, and persons can appreciate why, because tourism is one of our main industries, and therefore it's very important to have representation from these bodies. We also have a cross-section of public servants, the Anguilla Community College that sits on that training committee. So every year, around a specific time, there's a request that goes out to departments, public, permanent secretaries, and the persons that I just mentioned, the organizations that I just mentioned, to identify training needs for the country. And I keep saying country because the needs are really for the country. So the request will go out. This year specifically, we made some changes, and in that there was a criteria developed to identify and prioritize those training needs. So things like succession planning, was there an area within the department or within the area, whether it's tourism or another area, that we foresee that there's going to be a challenge with recruiting talent, because someone will be transitioning to, and I say transitioning to retirement or leaving the organization, etc. So these are the things that we look at. They're submitted, and then the training committee, there's a deadline for that submission, and then the training committee will convene a meeting and review each submission and make a recommendation, a determination on what our priority training needs are. Now, we would want all of the submissions to be considered, but one can appreciate that you can only submit within the envelope of the funding available. And so we prioritize based on the funding available, and that submission is put together by public admin in collaboration with the training committee, and then it is submitted to Executive Council for approval, those training needs. So that is what starts the process. Once those training needs have been identified and approved, then we start the advertisement process where we put them out. Now this is very important this year. It's very important to note that this year, that all of the scholarships, and there are some 40 scholarships, are open to everyone. They're not specific to any public servants or any specific persons in a statutory body, etc. They're open to all Anguillians who meet the criteria, and one of the major criteria that we want to identify this year is the fact that they have acceptance into a university.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Public Administration, Master Demis Adams, is speaking there. And William Boy, United States-based Wall Street financial executive Mr. Thomas Eddie Kelly said on Tuesday that former Home Affairs Minister Kenneth Hodge does not have the moral authority to cast blame on the ongoing government public sector reform review exercise. And the former Home Affairs Minister has been taking swipes at the present, in fact, at the Premier, Corey Chesson Hodge, in relation to the salary review program. Kelly reacted to the former Home Affairs Minister's statements when he spoke to Klass FM radio on Tuesday morning.
God says leadership means ownership. I listened to the interview on Friday between DJ Hammer and the Premier, and I walked away with more questions than answers. So I'm going to paraphrase it. He says, under each ministry, the supplementary clearly sets out the following, okay? In point 2, he says, the ministers therefore had full knowledge of this when they approved the supplementary in EXCO and sent it to the House for approval. The buck stops with the five ministers in EXCO. He goes on to say, point 4, so to blame PwC or the deputy governor or public admin, or even so far as to lay the blame at the APM feet for this debacle is rather disingenuous. Now, Ken Hodge, were you not part of the budget discussions in 2025 when your government clearly set this out? When your leader clearly set this out in the budget? So how could you write the things that you're writing? I don't understand it. How could you make the statements that you're making right now? You should be quiet. You should be quiet. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. On 8th June of, I can go back. On 8th June of 2023, the APM government, and I will quote, approved the procurement of a consultancy to conduct a new comprehensive review of the systems of progression and job grading of the APS, including subventing SOEs and work-related allowances. That's not my words. This is from your government. And I can go on. The new comprehensive review and regarding the exercise was formally authorized in June of 2023. So the bottom line is we have to look at where this started. And you cannot say, Ken Hodge, that you can't blame the APM. You have to look at where it started. It started with you. It started with you. And for you to make the statements that you're making, Ken Hodge, and for Dr. Webster to make a public address and not state that he started this situation is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I can go on. As of January 9, 2024, the APM confirmed several things to the entire country. The Public Sector Compensation and Job Classification Review was their initiative scheduled for the upcoming year. They also stated, and I quote, proactively allocated funding for potential salary adjustments in the 2025 budget. These are APM's own public statements. And on social media, they repeated these dates and commitments. And I can go look at the post that they made on February 23rd of 25. Okay, they stated, and I quote, in the 2025 budget address, the APM administration made it clear we would embark on a public sector compensation and job classification review. We allocated funding with the Ministry of Finance for potential salary adjustments. And they doubled down on the same statement again on April 12th. So I don't understand how you could lay blame at the AUF, but not go back and say, well, listen, guys, we started this. Maybe we made some mistakes, but now that it's in the AUF's corner now maybe they can go ahead and correct the mistakes that were made. Let's look at the timeline, Hammer. January 23rd was the effective date set by the APM for reinstating salaries for civil servants and wage workers. That was January 23. 8th of January 23, EXCO approval of salary restoration, legal amendments, and a new comprehensive review and job grading exercise. Then you had the budget address, 9 December 24, which was a 25 budget address confirming the public sector compensation and job classification review, okay? for salary adjustments. So at the end of the day, the problem that we have here is that the inequalities and distortions people feel in their pay packets today are the outcome of an APM design process. The AUF didn't create this structure, they inherited it. And now they have the responsibility to fix what was left behind. And I'm a strong believer that they will ameliorate the situation. So you have the proof in front of you, Hammer, you can post it, but Anguillians need to know where it started so that we can move forward and fix the situation. But you can't go on radio, you can't make these pronouncements, Ken Hodge, when you were the one sitting there in Exco. You were the one that also had to vote to go ahead with the salary review and to allocate the money, Ken Hodge. So how could you make these statements? How could you make these statements, Ken Hodge? Dr. Webster, how could you make the statements in your national address? I don't understand how you could make those statements that you made. We all heard your national address, but did you not think, Dr. Webster, that it was very easy to go back into the Exco minutes? It was very easy. And it's kind of disingenuous for you to make the statements that you're making, but then when you go in the House of Assembly, okay, every single member of the opposition voted for the salary increases, and they also specifically wanted to get themselves into the salary review too. So the bottom line is, if you felt so hard and so strong against this, why support the salary review? Why not say, I am not going to take any extra money on my salary at all because I feel that these inequities or inequalities are wrong? But you didn't do that. So is it you disingenuity? What is it? Because you didn't do that at all. So we have to stop playing political gamesmanship here when at the end of the day, you're going to walk away with your increases in your salary, the opposition. Everyone will. And at the end of the day, what? People are going to suffer because you want to play political football? Let's stop it.
Anguillian by United States-based Wall Street financial executive Thomas Eddie Kelly is speaking there. Senior member of the Anguilla Progressive Association of New York, Apollo, Mr. Godwin Carty, has a place on the record the organization's thanks and appreciation to the people and organizations in Anguilla and the diaspora for making the 30th anniversary dinner dance gala of Apollo held in New York on June 6 a major success. Carty recently spoke to Klass FM radio.
I want to thank all of the Anguillians and friends of Anguillians that attended the Anguilla Equity function in New York on the 6th of June. We had a full house and it was very well attended, had a great time. And we want to thank all of the officials that came in from Anguilla to show respect to Equity, 30 years of working with Anguilla. And I also want to recognize the tourist board, the Anguilla Tourism team. I'm very impressed with those Anguillians. I think this is like they're young. They're very young, and I have the opportunity to observe their behavior and their level of motivation. And I am very, very impressed with how they are approaching their job. They're taking it very seriously, and I want people a lot beaten up a lot across the way, but I want to definitely recognize Rochester and his team for the hard work that they're doing. And I think the numbers are speaking for themselves. We have to give them their numbers. The record-breaking numbers have been coming under their leadership. I think it's very impressive. Let's just call it what it is. It's a good job, and let's recognize them for what they're doing. And they're Anguillians. And I think I hope they can, in next year and next 2 years, we have some of them in England and Europe doing the same thing and bringing more tourists to our island. So.
Senior member of the Anguilla Progressive Association of New York, Apollo, Mr. Godwin Papa Juni Carty, thanking the people of Anguilla at home, those in the diaspora, and those at home for their great support of the organization's 30th anniversary gala dinner dance held in New York on June 6 at 2026. Macmillan Caribbean Education has officially launched the second year of their regional New Branches Poetry Competition on Monday, June 8, 2026. Macmillan Education Caribbean is encouraging participation across schools and educational networks in Anguilla and around the region. Following the wonderful response to last year's competition, Macmillan have expanded the initiative this year to include an upper secondary category alongside the primary, lower secondary, and teachers categories. The competition continues to provide students and educators across the Caribbean with an opportunity to celebrate creativity, culture, and self-expression through poetry. Participants were invited to submit original poems inspired by themes including Caribbean food and culture, festivals, life by the sea, community, belonging, and Caribbean identity. Winning poems will be featured in the Macmillan's 2026 New Branches Poetry Anthology, with winners also receiving printed copies to keep and share with their schools and communities. The competition closes on Tuesday, 8th September 2026, in recognition of World Literacy Day as well. The full competition is available through Macmillan Education Caribbean website. Macmillan Education Caribbean says they are truly appreciative for support of teachers, students, and schools in Anguilla and across the region, and pledge to continue inspiring young Caribbean writers across the region. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, of which Anguilla is a member country, including, in fact, in the region, this is calling on the region to strengthen the routine immunization program and close vaccination gaps following an increase in diphtheria cases across the region. According to the new epidemiology alert issued by PAHO, 163 confirmed cases of diphtheria, including 5 deaths, were reported in the region, and in the first 21 weeks of this year, more than double the number reported in 2025, and significantly above the average recorded in recent years. The cases were reported in Brazil, Haiti, and Peru, with Haiti accounting for the vast majority of infections, 159 cases, and all the deaths. More than half of the confirmed cases this year occurred among people who were unvaccinated or had unknown vaccination status. The increase comes as vaccination coverage against diphtheria remains low. The levels needed to prevent outbreaks in 2024, regional coverage for the third dose of diphtheria, tetanus, and purchases under the DPT3 vaccine declined to 87%, well below the 95% target recommended to provide community protection. Several countries continue to report coverage levels below 80%, while others have high dropout rates between the first and third vaccine doses. In this alert, PAHO warns that given the current situation in which diphtheria vaccination coverage has remained below optimal levels in recent years, as well as the emergence of new cases in some countries of the region, countries should close vaccination gaps by reinforcing routine immunization programs, catch-up vaccination, and follow-up activities. PAHO also urged countries to strengthen the epidemiological surveillance of vaccine-preventable diseases. The decline in vaccination coverage has left pockets of population vulnerable to vaccine-preventable diseases, while the Americas have made significant progress in controlling diphtheria over the recent decades. The disease continues to circulate globally and can re-emerge when vaccination coverage falls. PAHO urged countries to use micro-planning strategies to identify and vaccinate populations that have been missed. The organization also recommends taking advantage of every contact with the health system to verify vaccination status and complete immunization schedules. With that item, we've come to the end. Here of our local news. We are now at 3 minutes before 9, and time check brought to you here by Aurora. In fact, time check brought to you by Leon's, that is at Meads Bay.
Celebrate Meads Bay all day. Leon's at Meads Bay blends Southeast Asian flavors with classic island favorites in a relaxed beachfront setting. Guests enjoy toes in the sand dining, handcrafted cocktails, and island breezes along beautiful Meads Bay. Whether enjoying effortless chill during the day or indulging in vibrant nighttime fun, Leon's at Meads Bay is the place to unwind. On Thursdays, enjoy a flavorful barbecue experience from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Meads Bay Barbecue, offering a delightful mix of gourmet grilled specialties, delicious cocktails, and live entertainment. On Sundays, embrace the energy and enjoy the island's best weekend lime, Sunday Fun Day from 4 to 9 p.m. Sway to the sweet sound of their music while indulging in handcrafted tropical cocktails and delectable island-inspired South Asian cuisine. With the largest outdoor seating on the island, these elevated experiences are not to be missed. Plus, experience ease of service with the all-new Leon's payment card. Leon's is open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Thursdays and Sundays. Leon's remains closed to the public on Mondays. For more information, call 1-264-497-6111 or email concierge@maliuhana.com or visit www.maliuhana.com.
Up next, news from the region, and the news from the region sponsored by Quantum Investment Services Limited, location the Caribbean Commercial Complex.
It is impossible to predict the unexpected, but it is possible to plan for it. By having insurance or financial security, you can lessen the burden to you, your family, or your loved ones in the event the unexpected happens. Join our many satisfied customers at Quantum Investment Services Limited, where we provide you with valuable peace of mind. At Quantum Investment Services Limited, we offer property insurance, motor insurance, medical insurance, life insurance, air ambulance coverage, marine insurance, liability insurance, workman compensation, professional indemnity, and financial planning. Don't delay. Contact us today for your free quote by calling us at 264-497-7500 or 264-497-7510 or email us at info@quantumaxa.com. You can also visit our office at the Caribbean Commercial Center, Unit 12. Quantum Investment Services Limited, protecting you and your investment.
And now the regional news in detail. Cuba's powerful Communist Party called an unscheduled session Wednesday a reoccurrence that comes days after President Miguel Diaz-Canel announced an economic reform package aimed at opening up the struggling island's economy. Also Wednesday, in a surprise move, the National Assembly was also convened for Thursday to follow up on the party meeting. Both sessions come at a critical time for Cuba as it grapples with the effects of the U.S. energy blockade aimed at forcing a change in the island's economic model. Last week, Diaz-Canel told journalists that the upcoming reform would expand the authorization for private companies, which were first legalized 5 years ago. Without providing specific details of the deadlines, the president noted that the plan will also allow Cubans living in both an island and abroad to invest in tourism while granting state-run companies greater freedom to partner with the private sector. Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness has reiterated his government intention to continue working largely with the United States to stamp out transnational crime, including illegal acts committed by any members of the diaspora. And he is diplomatically couched comments came as he addressed the 11th annual Jamaica Diaspora Conference in Montego Bay on Tuesday. Please give me what forgive what I'm about to say. The criminals have representatives in the diaspora as well, and so they become more transnational. The criminals that the government of Jamaica has increased its transnational cooperation with other countries and security forces to make sure that criminals have no place to hide. The Prime Minister said there have been reports that Jamaicans who live outside of the country borders are involved in illicit guns and drug trade. There have also been numerous instances where Jamaicans have been extradited to the United States to face lottery scamming charges. Holness alluded to both examples in his address. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney left the third G7 summit Wednesday without a formal meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump as a free trade agreement between the two countries faces an uncertain future. Canadian leaders typically get a bilateral meeting with American presidents at the summit of the world leading industrialized democracies, but Carney dismissed any notion of a snub. I wouldn't take a big message from that, Carney said. I had 7 or 8 discussions with President Donald Trump over the course of the last 36 hours. I'll have more today. A wide range of subjects from the economy, relations to his birthday, artificial intelligence, and Ukraine, obviously Iran, he said. A Carney's speech at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland in January helped make him an international political star when he declared the global rule-based order over and condemned coercion by great powers on smaller countries. The Prime Minister received widespread praise and attention for his remarks and upstaged Trump at the gathering. Turks and Caicos Islanders struggling with securing financing to purchase a building or build homes could soon have greater access to mortgage funding. At the Parliament passed the Mortgage Cooperation Bill, creating a new lending institution designed to expand home ownership opportunities across the island. Legislation establishes the Turks and Caicos Islands Mortgage Cooperation, which the government says will increase access to mortgage financing, support affordable housing development, and assist islanders who are unable to secure loans through traditional lending institutions. The government plans to capitalize the cooperation with the initial $20 million. However, a definitive launch date has not yet been announced. The cooperation must first be established, including the appointment of a board of directors, recruitment of staff, and securing of office space before operations can begin. Presenting the bill to the House of Assembly of the Parliament, Premier Charles Missick said the measures were intended to address one of the country's most pressing challenges as rising housing costs continue to place home ownership beyond the reach of residents. Even as the Guyana government remains largely tight-lipped and the possible motives behind the recent smuggling of 33 AK-47 assault rifles into Guyana, United States Army War College professor who pays keen attention to Latin American believes that several criminal gangs from Brazil, Venezuela, and Colombia are likely moving further westwards deeper into the country. Professor Ivan Ellis also says those gangs, not limited to the Fayette Tren de Agra, are coming under greater pressure from the United States and appear to be seeking refuge in Guyana. I think it's fair to assume that whatever the U.S. has been doing in Venezuela with criminal gang groups, it has had an impact on the groups there, and the patterns of drug smuggling, mining, and guns trafficking, among other things, says Professor Ellis, who has visited Guyana. He says his most probable guess is that with the new dynamics in Venezuela, there's a shift of criminal groups operating across Guyana, probably involving Brazilian groups and routes to Europe, just as the Brazilian Premier Comando de Capital gang was advancing with arms and infrastructure into Paraguay and Bolivia. A recently released a special report by the International Panel of Experts on Sustainable Food Systems on how geopolitical trends impact food systems has cited CARICOM's Food Security Initiative as an example of the cooperative approaches to building resilience and self-reliance in the current environment. Resilient self-reliance combines resilience and ability to withstand and recover from shocks with food self-reliance capacity to meet food needs with domestic production and cooperative trade. The report, titled "The New Geopolitics of Food: Navigating Policies for Resilient Self-Reliance," explores how trade wars, conflicts, climate change, aid cuts, and political tensions are fueling price volatility, worsening hunger, and strengthening cooperative control, and providing recommendations on the way forward, including through cooperative approaches, market management mechanisms, and policy reform. A panel on the Brazilian Supreme Court have voted to convict Eduardo Bolsonaro of lobbying the United States to interfere in the trial of his father, former right-wing President Jair Bolsonaro. On Tuesday, 3 of the 4 justices of the panel voted in favor of conviction, with one remaining justice yet to vote. They determined that Eduardo Bolsonaro's actions amounted to coercion against Brazil's justice system and sentenced him to 4 years and 2 months in jail. It wasn't really an expression of opinion or political stance, but rather conduct that clearly threatened Brazilian authorities and the Brazilian citizens themselves, Justice Cristiano Zanin said, calling Eduardo Bolsonaro actions illegitimate and criminal. The conviction is the latest legal setback for the Bolsonaro family, who remains a dominant force in Brazil's political right. Judge Jair Bolsonaro is serving 27 years in prison sentence for his efforts to remain in power after losing the country's election in 2022. Prosecutors describe his actions as attempted coup. Bolsonaro and his family have portrayed the trial as a political witch hunt against the Bolsonaro's family. The ex-president's third son and member of the Brazil Chamber of Deputies, Eduardo Bolsonaro, has been active in his father's defense. In March 2025, he pledged that he would move to the U.S. for full time to focus on his energy and a single cause, freeing his father. Prosecutors accuse him of mounting an illegal campaign to cause U.S. President Donald Trump and to use foreign influence to pressure Brazilian officials to drop the case against his father. The world is losing its estimated 324 trillion liters of water, fresh water every year, enough to meet the needs of 280 million people annually, according to a 2025 World Bank report just released. This persistent loss of fresh water, known as continental drying, is driven by worsening droughts and unsustainable land and water practices. To raise public awareness about the desertification and drought and promote action to restore degraded land, the UN has marked June 17 as the World Day to combat desertification and drought. And the following the story, the spanning some 3,000 miles of the Panama River in South America, second largest river after the Amazon, and serves as the vital commercial artery connecting Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina. Driven by multi-year droughts, comparison to 1990 and 2026, satellite imagery shows how water levels at the port of Rosario have plummeted. This drastic shrinkage has disrupted grain shipping, reduced hydroelectric generation at the Itapi Dam, and exposed expansive riverbed flats and new formed islands. Jamaica says it is discussion with Washington over possible acceptance of a third country migrants deported from United States. Reuters News reported yesterday that the announcement was made by Horace Chang, Jamaica's Deputy Prime Minister. According to the report, Chang said that no agreement has yet been finalized. The U.S. government has signed agreements with several countries to host deported third-party migrants, often in exchange for financial assistance. Under the proposed arrangement, Jamaica would serve as a transit country for migrants deported from Washington or the United States. In recent weeks, reports have emerged the U.S. government is considering relocating Afghan asylum seekers who assisted American forces to third countries. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte played down on Wednesday the impact of the Trump administration's decision to cut back the number of troops and military equipment it would provide to its allies should they come under attack. NATO Supreme Allied Commander, an American, is working on a backup plan to defend Europe after the U.S. signaled on June 3rd that it would no longer supply an aircraft carrier and support ships, aerial refueling planes, and dozens of fighter jets, among other military military assets in a crisis. But Roth said the U.S. is not withdrawing more troops from Europe. That is not about where the forces and assets are currently located. He said on the eve of a meeting of NATO defense ministers that he will chair in Brussels. It's about who would do what if our defense plans were activated. So let's say in the case of an Article 5 situation, Roth told reporters. Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is mourning the loss of one of its officers following an incident at the Santa Grande police station on Tuesday night. The officer, PC Yonis Joseph, died after self-harming at the station at around 2:30 p.m. Shortly after reporting for duty and collecting his service-issued firearm, police said another officer assigned to the interagency task force, who was also on duty at the station, sustained an injury to his foot during the incident and was taken to medical treatment. The incident, which reportedly occurred in the presence of several officers, has prompted calls from within the police circles for a thorough investigation. In a statement issued on Tuesday, the TPBS said it was deeply saddened by the unfortunate circumstances surrounding the officer's death and confirmed that the matter was engaging the full attention of the investigation, the investigators in the Eastern Division Police System. And they extended their condolences to the families of the officer, his colleagues, and loved ones as they navigate this painful and unexpected loss. The statement said the police service also used the opportunity to encourage people experiencing emotional or personal difficulties to seek support. Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara urged relatives, friends, neighbors, and colleagues to be attentive to the well-being of those around them. The TTP added that it remains committed to fostering a culture of care, compassion, and support within the service and across the wider community. The BVI has recorded at the strongest first quarter for a new company with incorporations in the 4 years, according to the latest quarterly statistical bulletin published by the BVI Financial Services Commission. The bulletin shows that 7,630 new companies were incorporated during the first quarter of this year, representing a 10.4% increase compared to the same period last year. Incorporation were also 7.63% higher than it had in the first quarter of 2024 and 31.58% higher than in the first quarter of 2023. The results marks a significant, the highest first quarter incorporation figures since 2022 and continue the positive momentum seen across the jurisdiction financial services sector. AI will lead to more needs for workers rather than make people redundant, Amazon founder, the boss, Jeff Bezos, predicted during an appearance on a tech conference in Paris. Bezos pushed back against growing concern that AI will replace large numbers of workers. Instead, he argued that the tech will unlock new opportunities and increase demand for human labor. This is in contradiction to some other tech and political figures, including former UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, an advisor to Microsoft and AI firm Anthropic, who recently said AI was having an impact on young people's job prospects. I know there's a lot of concern that many people have, including many smart people, that AI is going to make humans redundant and so on, Bezos said. I totally disagree with this point of view. I think, in fact, AI is going to create a labor shortage, he said. He painted an optimistic picture of AI future and role in society, suggesting that people are limited not by a lack of ambition, but by barriers that technology can help remove. With that item, we've come to the end of our news from the region. News from the region sponsored by Quantum Investment Services Limited, location the Caribbean Commercial Complex. And we are now at 17 down 9, time check brought to you by Aurora. Anguilla Resort and Golf Club. Sports, Lionel Messi marked his record 6 World Cup appearance with his first hat-trick at the FIFA tournament, also becoming the joint highest scorer at the World Cup as Argentina beat Algeria 3-0 to open the defense of their global crown. The former 38-year-old forward thought he had opened the scoring in the 8th minute of the Kansas City on Tuesday when he slotted home from close range, but the offside flag was raised. The dream start to his record-setting appearance, which will be matched by Cristiano Ronaldo by Portugal against Democratic Republic of Congo on Wednesday, was not to be denied for long though. A trademark Nazi run was capped by driving on the edge of the box from that famed left foot. The power was too much for Algeria's keeper Luka Zandi, son of the World Cup winner with France Zaindi. Messi doubled his tally on the hour mark with a simple tap-in from a rebound of the keeper following a drive from Alexis McMaster. Cricket West Indies has announced a 15-member squad for the West Indies 2-match series against Sri Lanka, which will be played at the Sir Vivian Richard Cricket Grounds Stadium in Antigua, June 25th to July 7. West Indies will look to make the most of home conditions and conclude the current World Test Championship cycle on a positive note. The men in maroon will compete at the cycle later this year with a home test series against Pakistan and a 2-match series tour of Bangladesh. Royston Chase will captain the squad, which includes the return of wicketkeeper batter Joshua De Silva, who amassed 966 runs across the last 2 seasons of the West Indies Championship. Also returning is Amir Ajango, who earned a record following an impressive showing in this year's championship, finishing second in the runs scored, including a double century. It will be his first Test squad selection since January 2025. Fast bowler Zara Joseph and Shemar Joseph are back in the Test side after missing the tours of India and New Zealand through injury. The pair last featured in the Test squad during the home series against Australia in 2025. And with that item, we've come to the end of sports. Also here where we conclude the news package for this morning as well. Going out now, we take a look at our items that made our headlines. And from our big stories this morning, I'll tell you right now here this morning, the Anguilla House of Assembly will be celebrating its 50th anniversary from 28 June to 3rd July under the theme 50 years honoring our past, shaping our future. And from the region here this morning, Cuba's powerful Communist Party called an unscheduled session Wednesday a rare occurrence that comes days after President Miguel Diaz-Canel announced an economic reform package aimed at opening up the struggling island's economy. From the sports world, Lionel Messi marked his record 6th World Cup appearance with his first hat-trick at a FIFA tournament, also becoming the joint highest scorer at the World Cup as Argentina beat Algeria 3-0 to open the defense of their global crown. That's the Klass newscast here for this morning. So that you can join us this evening at 7, God's willing, for another presentation. We thank you for listening. Up next, your weather report. Weather report sponsored by Sandy Allen, Beach Bar Restaurant, the home of seafood, lobsters, crayfish, conchs, whelks, the good stuff. You owe it to yourself, your loved ones too, to have that experience as soon as possible. Klass FM here in the morning time now. So, Weatherman is saying for us as we get in here this morning, Klass FM radio 92.9 here in the morning time. Weatherman is saying for us today here that a weak tropical wave will support brief passing showers across the Leeward Islands and the BVI. Today, weather partly cloudy with a 60%, a moderate chance of showers. Weather tonight, partly cloudy with 30%, or a low chance of showers. Winds east at around 12 to 21 miles per hour. Seas around 4 to 6 feet. And sunset today will be at 6:51 p.m. And sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:38 a.m. Weather report, weather sponsored by Sandy Allen, Beach Boy Restaurant. Klass FM here in the morning time. At this point, we will pause for these death announcements. It is with deep sadness that we announce the death of Devon Curtis Daniels, better known as Beggar or Captain Beggar, originally of Southfield, Anguilla, and later resided in Stony Ground, Anguilla. Devon passed peacefully at the Princess Alexandra Hospital on Sunday, June 7. Further details will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Relatives and friends are kindly asked to accept this information. To the bereaved relatives and friends of the late Devon Curtis Daniels, Beggar, or Captain Beggar, we extend our heartfelt sympathies.
I bid you good night.
It is with deep sadness that we announce the passing of Charles' brother Valley Gums of Blowing Point, Anguilla. The sad event took place on Tuesday, June 9 at the Princess Alexandra Hospital. More details will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Relatives and friends are kindly asked to accept this information. To the bereaved relatives and friends of the late Charles' brother Valley Gums of Blowing Point, Anguilla, we extend our heartfelt sympathies.
Jesus loves you best. I bid you good night.
It is with deep sadness that we announce the death of Lorna Pontiflet of Southfield, Anguilla. She passed at the Princess Alexandra Hospital on Wednesday, May 20th. More details will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Relatives and friends are kindly asked to accept this information. To the bereaved relatives and friends of the late Lorna Pontiflet of Southfield, Lorna, we extend our heartfelt sympathies.
Go walking in the valley of the shadow of death. Good night. His rod and his staff gonna comfort me. Good night. Good night.
Didn't know today would be our last, or that I'd have to say goodbye to you so fast. I'm so numb I can't feel anymore. I'm praying you just walk back through that door and tell me that I was only dreaming.
The ink may fade, the music cease to play, yet echoes of his gift remains each day. A voice that once moved through the airwaves far and wide now lives within the hearts it once did guide. A composer's touch, lyrics, gentle art, a melody forever in a heart. Though silence now replaces every tone, his legacy continues on its own. It is with deep sadness that we announce the passing of Leroy, Brother Lee, Lee 1, Whitty Richardson. Sunrise, March 12, 1956. Sunset, June 6, 2026. Viewing for the late Leroy Richardson, Brother Lee, will be held on Friday, July 10, followed by a homegoing celebration on Saturday, July 11, 2026. Further details will be furnished in a subsequent announcement. The family thanks everyone for their prayers, love, and support during this time of bereavement. His pen is still, his song complete, but his legacy will forever speak.
You as close as I can, longing for the day when I see your face again. But until then, God must need another angel around the throne tonight. Your love lives on inside of me, and I will hold on tight. It's not my place to question, only God knows why. I'm just jealous of the angels around the throne. I didn't know today would be our last, or that I'd have to say goodbye to you so fast.
The Brooks family of South Hill wishes to announce the passing of their beloved Preston Diedrich Brooks, also known as Bubba or Rastaman. His sunrise was on January the 5th, 1973, sunset May 14th, 2026. He leaves to mourn his wife, Lisa Thompson Brooks, son, Caron Brooks, mother, Evelyn Elaine Brooks, father, Diedrich Valentine Brooks, also known as Valley. Special children, Alyssa Richardson Wyatt and Calvin Fleming. Sister, Elaine Carty. Brother, Houston Brooks. Sister-in-law, Kemisha Brooks. Brother-in-law, Vernon Carty, also known as Twitty. Grandchild, Kai Preston C.U. Brooks. Special grandchildren, London and Rome Wyatt. Nieces, Twedicia Carty and Kaimari Brooks. Nephews, Tavon Carty, Tashawn and Kaimari Brooks. Aunts, Ramona, Alicia, Linda and Rosita Brooks, and the late Sonia Brooks in Anguilla. Mary, Jacqueline, and the late Teresita Richardson in St. Martin. Uncles, Clarence Brooks, David Brooks, Fuzzy, Stafford Brooks, Chippy, and Austin Brooks in Anguilla. Florio, Carlo, Miguel, Dennis, and Romaine Richardson in St. Martin. Cousins, Denise Brooks and the family, Sherry Brooks and the family, Sheldon Brooks and the family, Daniel Gomes and the family, Tyrone Brooks and the family, Candace Hughes and the family, Shalice Niles and the family, Travis Carty and the family, Tanya Mason and the family, Nadia, Cody and the family, Valentine Brooks and the family, Tashanta Brooks and the family, Shamel Brooks and the family, Nikima Gomes and the family, Stafford Brooks and the family, and Tashana Brooks, Austin Rogers, Leon Lee Carty Brooks, Claudia Brooks and the family, Claude Brooks and the family, Fidelia Germain, Frederick Francois Carmen, Jolette, and Kimberly Richardson. Marvis and Anderson Hughes, Natalie Pierre, Angeli Richardson, and the late Joseph Gomes, Stacey Ann Brooks, and Cedric Pierre. Special friend, Diane Richardson. Godson, Hugh Quan Hughes. Godmother, Casilda O'Loughlin. Godbrother, Wayne Hodge. Close friends, Paul and Cindy Coswick, Pamela C.U., Will Carty, Frankie Brooks, Clifton Bryan, known as Bongo, Franklin Rogers, Andrea Richardson, known as Wendy, Irad Benjamin, known as Shanky, Thomas Huggins, Abner Brooks, better known as Hammer, Hank Petty, Toy Cobb, Sebastian, Alex Hazel, Lyman Walters, better known as Ron. The Blue Sea family, management and staff of Altima, management and staff of Cable and Wireless, management and staff of Capjaluca Hotel, management and staff of Mango's Restaurant. Friends, Anguilla Motorsports, and comrades on the strip. He also leaves to mourn Sylvia Richardson and the family in St. Kitts, the family of the late Joseph Gomes and Alice Augusta Richardson of St. Martin, the families of the late Evelyn Albertha Brooks Richardson, Marianne Harrigan, Albertha Louise Gomes, Agatha Thomas, Violet Hodge, Jane and Amos Gomes, Nelson Hodge, James Dukey Ruan, and Hannah Harrigan. The families of the late Doris Henderson and Rosita Brooks. He was related to the Thomas, Smiths, Hodges, Harrigan, and the Duncans of East End, the Horsfords and Brooks family in Anguilla, Richardsons and Gomes, in St. Martin. Many other relatives and friends, too numerous to mention. If anyone has been omitted, please accept our sincere apologies as it was not intentional. The funeral service of the late Preston Diedrich Brooks will be held on Saturday, June 20th, 2026 at the Bethel Methodist Church, South Hill. Tributes will start at 9 o'clock and end at 9:55. The funeral service will start at 10 a.m. Interment, Sandy Ground Cemetery. To the bereaved relatives and friends of the late Preston Diedrich Brooks, we extend our deepest sympathy. The family wishes to retire peacefully following the ceremony.
Singing hallelujah.
And to all those who mourn at this time, we extend our heartfelt sympathies. Class of Friend in the Morning Time. We are now 27 minutes now before the 10 o'clock hour, and we're getting ready for a session in a bit here with Gender Affairs and also Community Services Department unit here in Anguilla. Planning unit will be with us shortly on the morning program. But before that, though, we're going for our GAB celebration program, and to remind you there's graduation time on right now as well. And GABs, they're decked up with all the stuff you need for graduation. They're decked up with all the stuff you need for Father's Day as well. And Brother Elvin and the team, his dear wife, and they reached out to us earlier. They have quite a bit going on as well. And today, don't want to say good morning and happy birthday to Christina. Our birthday today. That's one of the daughters there, Gabs, and yes, man, and today is Christina's birthday. Wishing you all the best. The real Gabs boss lady, yeah, that's for sure. Happy birthday, Christina, on the special day as well from your dad, Elvin, your mom, and the entire family circle, and of course, the Gabs family. Wishing you all the best, Christina. Enjoy your day to the max, okay? So let's get into our Gab celebration program here now for this morning. I want to say happy birthday to all those persons out there celebrating birthday today. Among them, well, yesterday was Bobby's birthday. Bobby, Brian Huggins, hope you had a great one on your birthday, girl. But today is Thursday. It's June 18, and we're saying happy birthday to all the birthday celebrants out there.
Happy birthday.
Okay, let me say now good morning and happy birthday going here now to Christina Richardson of Gab's the Party Store. Yep, from your parents, and and of course the siblings, husband, and yes, the entire family, the boss lady herself, your husband Elvin, the entire family circle. Wishing you all the best on your day today, and yes, all the children, Josiah, and the entire crew. Christina, wishing you all the best on your birthday today, and also, let me say happy birthday, the clergy and the congregation of the church and the Busbys and the Brands, the Christopher Simpson's families, and DJ Hammer, the staff of Klass FM Radio, and us Augustus, the tackling community, and us Nanton. Thank you for your committed support to our birthday club on Klass FM Radio. Every success is wished to in all your business endeavors. That's for sure. God's blessings be with you always. Always, Christina. Enjoy your birthday to the max. Okay. Enjoy your birthday in a big way. Also, let me now say good morning. Happy birthday to triplets, Shanice, Chandra, and Stasia. Happy Hudson from your mom, Shirley, your dad, and John O's, the siblings, your aunts and uncles, Sheila, and the entire crew, your uncles, the family circle, the clergy and the congregation of the Pro Cathedral of St. Mary, the Rahel community, and Maud C. and Nurse Nanton, us on Klass FM, Radio Girls. Enjoy your birthday. Susie Ryan, good morning to you, girl, from your family circle, the Busbys, the Brands, the Christopher Simpson's families, and Nurse Nanton. Also, Tia Supersad from your parents, siblings, and the family circle, and Nurse Nanton. We have Mariska Liddy Richardson from your family circle, the Brands, the Christopher and Simpson's families, and Nurse Nanton. Ethel Duncan, happy birthday from your mother, the siblings, the family circle, and Nurse Nanton. Also, Kelvin Sutton from your mom, Anita, the grandmother, Maud C., and your family circle. Toddville Harrigan. Happy birthday, sir, from your family circle. We have Delsic Ray from your wife, the siblings, the family circle at home and abroad, and the Busbys, the Brands, the Christopher and Simpson's families, and us Nanta, also the Ray's family here in Anguilla. Wishing you all the best, Delsic, on this your day. Enjoy to the max. Jennifer Hughes, that's Jen Boo from your family circle, Little Dish and the UBR chat room group, and Nurse Nanton, Cynthia Harrigan from your family circle, Albia Phillips, Joya Gums, Angela Rogers Weeks from your family family circle as well. The addition staff of UBR in North Nanton. We have Kishandre, Isaac. We have Marcus Rogers from your mom, Deslin, the siblings, the aunt, Myra, and others, the aunts and uncles in the family circle. And North Nanton, also Shamela Wadi. Happy birthday, Shamela. Happy birthday from your entire family circle, from, of course, your brother Glenn, Sonia, Cheryl, Bob, and Brenda, the entire family circle. Tyrone, wishing you all the best on this your day. The children, the grandkids too, us on Klass FM, Radio, Mim, and the Ramos, and the entire crew. Wishing Shamela Wati in Nantucket a happy birthday one time. Enjoy your birthday in a big way, Shamela. Enjoy, you cut the cake. Also, Monica Richardson from your family circle, the Brands, the Christopher and Simpsons families, and Siobhan Harrigan, happy birthday to you as well, schoolmate. And also Danville Bryan from your mom, Joyce's siblings, the children, and the family circle, the Farrington community, and us Nanton. Ira Gums, happy birthday. Wayne Petty, happy birthday. Ronald Heiliger, happy birthday. Let me also now say happy wedding anniversary greetings we extend to Macria and Keyshawn Rogers, Marvia and Keyshawn Rogers from your parents, and Janet and Verlin and Steve and siblings at home and abroad, the children, the family circle, the Adams family, and the Busbys, the Brands and Christophers and Simpson families, and us Nanton, Angela Stanley Trotman from your from your family circle, and all other birthday and anniversary celebrants today. We wish you all the best, and kindly keep in memoriam Marilyn Thomas Yearwood, Angela Brooks, Cornell, Eileen Smith, Omavan Richardson, Jan Vic Albertus Reed, and also Preston Henderson Brooks, all who would have celebrated their birthdays today, right? And also Vernon Sutton Kohler, Kimo Hodge, and Adela Hodge, who died on this date as well. May their souls continue to rest peacefully. The quote of the day from our team: the 3 C's of life: choices, chances, and changes. You must make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never change. Authors unknown. Okay, have a positive, thankful days extended to all from Teacher Janice, Grayson, Barbara, Bundy, Nurse Augustus, us here on Klass FM Radio, Gab's Party Store, your family circle, and us Nanton. That's your celebration program for this morning, folks. To let you know that you can join us here. That's tomorrow morning around the same time for another Gab celebration program. And again, I want to big up the Gab's boss lady, Christina and Elvin. There's the duo that makes it happen for us here on our celebration program with Gab's Party Store. So the boss lady of Gab's, happy birthday. We salute you. We wish you all the best on your day. You cut the cake. Have a great one. Enjoy to the max. Okay. Now we're about to transition. We're about now to make a move here this morning on Klass FM Radio 92.9, and I mentioned a while ago here Gender Affairs and the Community Services Planning Unit, and I know it's Men's Week coming up, really, Men's Week, and we're about to have a discussion about that right here this morning on Klass FM Radio 92.9. So I'll allow my guests to introduce themselves. We have them here. They're no strangers to us in Angola, and of course not to us on Klass FM either. I'll go across with my guest. Let me say a pleasant good morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to Klass FM on the morning program. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
I want to help you with that. I want this guy. I want to get a real.
Good morning.
Better now.
Only one cup of coffee so far. So get it there.
We're there. All right now. Okay. So, and I'm speaking to you.
So I'm Kamaloi Murphy. I'm the Gender Development Coordinator at the Ministry of Social Development, Gender Affairs Unit, and I'll allow my colleague to introduce himself.
This is Hyacinth Augustine Bradley, Community Services Planner
here in Angola. And today we're here to discuss, tell me?
Men's Week. It's all about the boys and men. And so we started on Sunday, the 14th, and the week leads up to Father's Day, which is the 21st of June. This year we're recognizing the week under the theme Men Showing Up, Guide, Connect, Build, with men, those MEN. We're celebrating the theme under the framework mentorship for the M, engagement, and nurture. And so we're really encouraging and supporting men as they go about their daily lives, whether it's in their family, their workplace, in the community, in terms of how they're guiding, how they're building, and how they're connecting with each other. And so all of the activities that we've created over the course of the week would have played into those themes.
Those themes.
As Kim says, we have created. I just want to say that it's Men's Week, and it's kind of ironic that we have
yes,
two
as
women
women
here, just by nature of office. But we also have a colleague in my unit, John Douglas, that's very much involved in the planning. But more so, even as we're leading on the initiative of Men's Week, the men are very much involved in the planning, the preparation, informing what we do, and all of those activities are for men, but more so they're also guided by men, they're also informed by men.
Yes.
And as Kim said, we started off
on Sunday,
and we're going through Sunday. So, and we wanted to ensure every year as the year continues, we want to ensure that we continue to expand the representation of men. We continue to let communities know, that families know the significant importance of a man and a boy child. And this week we're looking to having some awesome engagement. Started off really well. Even last night, Hammer, thanks for passing by. We had in excess of 25 men at one of our sessions. And Kim will share briefly on some of the other engagements she's been having this week before we really dovetail into this weekend that we really want to spend a little time.
All right. Okay. So, Kim, bring me more up to speed on the happenings now, the details of the happenings.
Yes. So, as Haya would have just mentioned, last night we did have an engagement upstairs. Good Karma. But Hama, you were there. Maybe you could tell us how was that session?
It was great. It was great, actually. It was great for real, though. And I really saw how you're working hard, and also Mr. Douglas, really, and the field they were going on. They were going for sure, really. And to see men together, really in that setting was a great idea. So it was heartwarming for sure.
Yes.
Men coming together, because over the years, back in the day, growing up, men were together that way. After a while, it changed. Everything changed. But now to see men hanging out and having meaningful conversations is a great thing. And I really support that wholeheartedly.
Yes.
And the purpose of last one was actually hear him.
Yes.
Because what we've realized in our engagement with men as women, I think it's easy for women to just talk and have that emotional connection, everything. But we want an opportunity to have us as women understand that it's very important, it's really critical to also listen to men. We don't always have to talk as a woman. Sometimes just give them the platform, give them the place at the table, and let them talk so we could hear them. Because it starts with conversation. Whatever progress, whatever change we want to make in terms of awareness and empowerment, etc., it starts with conversation. And why not a conversation with men, by men, that will then translate into with men and women, led by men, and that's what we're really trying to channel and expand on.
Yes, and so that was just part one. We'll be expanding that initiative and also introducing women as well in those conversations, because as Haya just said, it's all about building communication and conversation around some of the issues surrounding men as well. And so we've also been partnering with the National Chronic Disease Unit with our yearly mentors, where we engage with men in their workplace, particularly in the hospitality industry. And so we started off on Tuesday at Cap Jaluka, and on Wednesday we went to Aurora. Tomorrow we're going to be at Zemi Beach and also at Maliana, and then next week at Four Seasons. And those sessions are led by two of our awardees, Joshua Gums and Philippe Delaney. And I'll tell you, the conversations have been rich. As a matter of fact, they asked us to be excused from the room, and they've just been, encouraging, motivating, and having those intimate discussions amongst themselves. And the feedback that we've been receiving has been really good as well. And they're asking for more of those sessions. And I just want to, while I have the platform right now, to just say thanks to those partners, those hospitality partners who have come come on board with us here of the year to provide that space at the workplace for these types of important conversations. Overall, the management of all of those properties, they understand the importance of providing those intimate spaces for their staff, and so we're pleased to see that happening in our community at the moment.
Yes.
And we're looking to expand on those programming as well. And so a big part of our Men's Week is our Manufacturing Awards.
Yes.
And so we would have rebranded 2 years ago from Men's Week Awardees to Manufacturing, where it's now 7 categories. So the categories are sports, arts and culture, community impact, emerging leader, excellence in mentorship, Phoenix Award, health and wellness advocate, and lifetime achievement award. And we opened nomination, I believe it was in April, and we would have received over 30 nomination across all those 7 categories. We have a 3-member selection committee. They would have sat down, discussed the various submissions, and then they would have came up with their 7 finalists for those awards. And so for the sports, arts and culture, we have Viglet Gums. For community impact, Timothy Richardson. Emerging leader, Devon Carter. Excellence in mentorship, Joshua Gums. Phoenix Award, Philippe Delaney. Health and wellness advocate, Desroy Finlay. And for the lifetime achievement, Evan Henderson, who's better known as Styler.
Styler, good.
Yes.
Love that.
And so over the course of the week, we have been releasing details in terms of their bios and photos, so that the community can get a better understanding of who our awardees are, what they're doing in the community, and why they were selected as this year's honorees. And so the engagement from the community as well has been really positive in terms of the selection for this year's finalists as well.
It's a very solid group.
Yes, it is.
We had 30 submissions.
Yes.
So that's really, really good.
Really good.
Another opportunity for us to also put a plug in here for 2027. All being well. We really want to recognize men.
Yes.
And not only those that just in the open all they're doing, they are persons, they are men that secretly or quietly making great impact, and we also want to recognize and those.
I really want to commend you guys for what you're doing, though. The departments really of the planning unit and the gender affairs, because I mean, growing up again in Anguilla back in the day, I mean, it's how it was for us. The older men were there as mentors. They were supporting you all along, and and we craved back then those conversations. The older guys, because whatever it is that we were told, and in those days. I grew up to be a man to recognize that was experience, because what it told you back then is still with you. And you see things happening in life. You say, I was told this years ago by XYZ. He might be deceased now, but life experiences. You learn that way too. You learn that way too, for sure, in a big way. Yes.
So that leads us to this weekend.
Yeah, you have a big event this weekend.
We have our 2 major
events
for the week.
Tell me what you have this weekend.
And so on Saturday we'll be hosting our men's conference, or national men's conference. That's going to be from 9 until 6 at Red Dragon Disco. It's a packed day. We're starting off with breakfast and an exercise boot camp led by Moquette.
Wow, the hammer! Oh God!
He hosted last year, and it was really good.
I tell you.
Even us, we were upstairs and we were getting our little moves in, and the men, they enjoyed it.
He's high energy for sure.
Very energetic.
High energy man. Okay.
And so he's joining us again this year. So we're very thankful for him. And then we'll be also going into discussions. This year we have decided to take to diverge from the whole panel and maybe having speakers presenting, and now we're having conversations. So we're going to be hosting dialogues this year, and I'm going to allow Mrs. Bradley to just briefly share with you the 3 dialogues that we'll be hosting.
On that day? Yeah? Oh, good.
Yes,
Okay.
So we want to do it in form of a carousel. So every man, we want to encourage as many men to come out as possible.
Yes.
So that's something we really have to share on even before I go into what the day is going to look. It's a free day. It's a free event. We're giving breakfast, there's lunch, there's activities, there's a health fair, and everything along with exercises and gifts for the men, right? And that those conversations gonna be really based in a round circle, easygoing, and of course, come dressed as you are. Okay, no strict dress code. Just come dressed as you are for the conversation. So one of our first session gonna be led by Pastor Rodek. And one of our awardees, Joshua Gums, we're looking at the title, Where is the Balance?
Where's the balance?
Yes,
Okay,
gender
good.
norms, roles, and expectations. So we're really looking at traditional versus evolving roles of men, pressure to provide versus the emotional presence, partnership, respect, and shared responsibility, and looking at navigating changing gender dynamics. So we really want to have those conversations,
and
men.
Question: are we overcorrect, right, in terms of where we are now versus traditionally what it was in terms of the role that the man play in the home, and where we are now in terms of modern roles and so forth. So that conversation very critical where we are right now, in terms of some of the issues that have been coming out of roles of fathers and men in the homes and so forth. So we're looking forward to persons coming out and engaging in that as well.
All right. Okay. Good.
We're going, can you remember, for that first session, beyond the homes, roles in the community and roles at work. So we really want to bring that in. And that will be followed by the second carousel, second round table, where we're looking at parenting from a man's perspective.
That's good.
Very critical.
Very critical.
And one of the questions, the guiding question is, what does it really mean to show up as a father today? What does that really mean in today's environment, in today's society, in today's world? And we want to really look at being present versus just providing. Co-parenting realities. We have a number of co-parenting situations, and we really want to look at that from a man's lens. What does that really look? And the discipline versus connection or correction. That is an area we're going to look at. And interesting conversation going to focus on that same theme: raising boys versus raising girls.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's a difference. It is a difference. It's a big difference, right? For sure.
And there's we talk about what is to happen before and what is to happen now. So that intergenerational conversation will really come across. And we really want to also look at breaking some sort of generational challenges or trauma. How can we really address that as we continue to navigate as parents? So really that question for session number 2 or conversation number 2, what does it really mean to show up as a father today? And we have a third session, the new hustle. We really want to look at the digital, the creative, the entrepreneurial path of men. And I know Kim would have really supported in identifying some of the young, vibrant entrepreneurs, and really how does that look for them as men in that creative aspect of men.
And how do we even support them in creating these new opportunities while they're staying grounded, disciplined, and purpose driven. And so we're looking at the traditional versus the non-traditional pathways for men, for young men. How we define success and livelihood. Does it mean that you have to have a degree to be considered successful? We're seeing now where we're seeing an increase in content creators and persons who are monetizing and maximizing their potential online. And even as us as the AI destination, how do we ensure that we are supporting our young people and young boys when they say, hey, I want to become a content creator, and I have one in my household, so we've had those conversations, and so he's going to be Bushy the plug. He's going to be a part of that conversation. And he's coming with his crew as well, and so again, there's going to be that generational conversation again, because we do have a diverse group of men who are participating in the discussion on Saturday, and so it will be really interesting to see how they really say, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, and the response and how, you know, they're able to have that dialogue in that setting and come to some sort of, okay, we can support you in this. How do you want us to support you?
Will be very interesting, you know, because again, folks, over the years, I'm not sure if you, I'm sure you saw it before, the youngsters, they crave conversation with older boys, older men. You realize that? They want to talk about things. That's what they're into for sure. But so this event takes place, what date again? What date?
So this is on Saturday.
On Saturday.
On Saturday, the 20th.
20th?
Red
Dragon Disco? Yes. Yes, Red Dragon Disco. Yes. It's free?
Yes.
Okay.
Free. And also, and so we're not just talking as well. We're connecting, right? And so, do you play domino?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
The domino game.
So we're expecting to see you on Saturday. So we'll be also hosting a domino competition with the Domino Association.
That's good.
We did it last year as well, and we had a great turnout, and so we're bringing that back this year. And so if you're out there, you play domino, you're really good, you think you are the best domino player, come and show us on Saturday.
It's a great program to help our youngsters, to our young boys. It's important, really and truly. So so we need to get those guys out there to the event, really and truly. So so mothers, guardians, fathers, really invite them out, bring them out, really to the event. I think.
And then we also have the primary healthcare unit. They're also going to be offering, health services there on the spot.
Good.
So if you want your sugar checked, your blood pressure checked, you can also get that done. And then at 4:00 we go into the awards ceremony for our manufacturing awardees. And so this is where the families can come in and celebrate. And then we end off after this ceremony with a cocktail reception. We'll have DJ Bless on the ones and twos.
Full day, boy.
It is a full day.
Full day.
Full day for men.
And we're deliberate in doing that full day event too, because we also appreciate that persons may not be able to come for the entire day. So persons who are listening, thank you for listening in, thank you for tuning in. But we want to encourage you to come. But if you're unable to come for the entire 9 to 5, 9 to 6, we've provided for you. But if you're unable to come, you could pop in a couple hours, pop out, and go. We really want to. We appreciate persons having to work the dynamism and all those things, and we want to ensure that the time is adequate. So when you do come, even if I have 2 hours, at least you'll be able to benefit from that, from those conversations.
Yeah, man. It's exciting. It's a very exciting program you're putting on there for sure, guys. So, guys, brothers out there, youngsters, the date is this coming Saturday, 20th of June. From what time? Tell me.
From 9 to 6.
There's another event we want to share. Same weekend. We're taking the Father's Day also.
Wow. Okay. Great. Great.
So 21st, same Red Dragon Disco. This time we're going to be starting a little later, like 11:30 through 4:00. We're gonna have father-son retreats.
Oh yeah.
Fathers, bring your sons.
I love that.
Mentors, bring your mentees. If you're just a carer, bring your male sons.
I love that.
Bring your brothers, etc. We're really trying to get that family connection with father-sons on Sunday, as we recognize Father's Day. We know oftentimes persons may not be able to dedicate the entire day to celebrating. Persons also may be unable, not in a position to really do something grand or special for Father's Day. So we're reaching out. We're facilitating that special events for fathers and sons, for boys and men, for mentors and mentees. So that day, equally dynamic. However, we're going to be having a lot of practical, hands-on engagement with fathers and sons, with mentors and mentees, with guardians and the boy children. Some of the areas we're looking at is tying. Yes, fathers and sons. And etc.
So we actually have packed bags. And so every boy, every man who attends that event will be getting a tie.
That's
And-
right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, absolutely. Good.
and we have someone who's coming in to teach how to properly tie the tie, because that is an important skill.
You
to
know,
have.
one thing, I learned that stuff on YouTube. And I just put on the camera, just the screen, and just tie it this way.
Yeah, it's going to be a refresher for me as well. I used to wear a tie to school because I was a prefect, so it's going to be a refresher for me as well. It's a really important skill to have. And then we have Quest Experiences, who's also coming in to lead one of our physical activity as well. They always surprise us with their activities.
We've left that up to them.
Yes, and so they always surprise us. I do know that whatever activities that they're going to be doing, it's going to be something that the peers can complete at home as well, because we also want to facilitate and encourage work after the father-son retreat. So we're trying to give the space, give the skills that is needed to develop bonds, and so we want to ensure that when they do leave from the session, that there's opportunities to build on that as well. So we've carefully crafted the activities for Sunday.
One of the other things we're adding to this is also a skill-based life skill. That's for first aid. So yes, first aid. How do you administer first aid? So we're having a trained individual coming to lead on that. So also
sounds good. Sounds real cool, man. Wow, but this is a lot of work really and truly happening for the youngsters out there. A lot of what's happening for them. They need this for sure, and this is bound to really shape and mold some young boys in our society. We need more of that really, and it's a timely intervention by these companies, departments.
Just one additional thing we'd like to share though. If we know in the community that there are boys that may not have father figures or positive models, let us know. You could call the Community Services Planning Unit or the Gender Affairs Unit, 497-3930. So you could get myself or Kim at those numbers, because we could reach out to those young men and also our mentors, pair them with mentors for that day. So again, if you know of any young man who would possibly benefit from that positive engagement, if there's any father that doesn't have a male child, just want to come, they are also encouraged to. The men not only attend the conference, but also come for the father-son retreat. And at the end of the father-son retreat, we want to have every parent and child, or every mentor and mentee, live with a photo.
Yes.
We will have a photo,
from memory,
special photo booth.
Yes.
Designed for men, by men.
By men.
They're going to be living not only with their pockets of ties and socks and those little gifts, but also with a photo as a memorable capture that really.
This is a great program that you're putting on for our young men here in Anguilla Men's Week, folks. So it's exciting, really and truly, and so far very exciting. Last night was exciting, and it continues. You said this weekend,
and guess what? The week does not end with our father-son retreat.
Doesn't it?
And so after the retreat, we actually head over to the football stadium to close off the week with our Father's Day fun day.
Football game?
Yes.
Wow.
And so that's a collaborative effort with the AFA. And so during halftime, we're going to be having some fun exercises, fun competition. You'll get to also experience some of our manufacturing awardees on the field, showing off their skill set as well. We'll have barbecue on the spot as well. So it's really a celebration to close off the week and to further celebrate our fathers as well.
And what I observed last evening though is it's more than a job for you guys. There's a passion. I saw Douglas last night from the Department of from Community Services Planning. He was working. I saw how you were there too. How they were moving. And you, I mean, it's a lot of work, but you guys are into it big time. It's more than a job.
Passion is a major requirement.
It's passion for real. I observed that.
It is.
And
we're blessed to be able to do the work that we do and offer the service that we do.
And I believe the reward is seeing youngsters who you would have engaged with, interfaced with over the when they develop into young men with respectable young men who are grounded. That I'm sure that is the reward for you. You feel a sense of satisfaction, right?
Definitely even more so to see men acknowledge. We know we're not perfect.
No.
But to see some men acknowledge, like it was so refreshing, so thank you for that opportunity to just engage and share. Because I hadn't realized that there are others going through the same challenges that I do. It was an opportunity for me to share on what I do in an open, free space where I felt safe and I was able to be comfortable being vulnerable. So that too is significant.
And throughout the week we've been having quite a lot of those interactions with the men who have participated in the program. We heard it at Captain Luca, we heard it at Aurora, we heard it last night. Overwhelmingly, they're saying
we also had some engagement at
His
Majesty's Prison.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you was there. You was there too. Okay, good.
So we went to
Good. Okay, good. Now tell me, before you go there, there's a question I have for you, because I mean, with young boys, and I have a son myself, and you give them everything. They have smartphones, they have tablets, they have all the gadgets we can afford to give them, and all those things they will have. But boys across the country over the years, sometimes they're still missing something. And I've had a conversation with many boys over the years. They still feel as if they're lacking something. Something is still not right with them. Something is missing from them. And I told a couple of them here, I said, you guys didn't have sheep and the goat or water to bring out them the pipe before you go to school. You have everything, but yet there's still a sense of restlessness among some of these youngsters. I mean, have you met some of those as well, guys who feel as if they're still missing something?
Definitely. Hammer, you just said something that's very critical, and I want us to maybe spend just like 5 minutes
go ahead.
on that.
Deal with it. I want to get
give them everything.
Everything.
But what makes you think that what you're giving them is what they want? Sometimes they just want a conversation, or what they need. Sometimes just a conversation. I think we have to spend time in conversation to understand and acknowledge the psycho-emotional connection of those young persons. To be able to appreciate what they're going through and what their needs are. Because oftentimes we give, but we don't listen to understand, to recognize, and to reach them halfway. So that is really critical when you say we give them everything, but yet still you see that they lack something.
Lacking something.
It's an understanding of that more intrinsic, intimate, psycho-emotional aspect that's missing. That connection is not there. That connection is not there. And oftentimes, Hammer, kind of going on another topic, but that's my line of work.
For sure.
But oftentimes when we see persons react or respond in a way that we didn't expect, it's just, that's the surface. There's root causes, those deep factors. You can only get it when you have that conversation, that intimate setting to dig deeper. And then because you're going to have that conversation, take time and dig deeper, you don't end up giving them what you think they want or they need. You're going to give them what they really need, what they can identify with, what connects with them, as opposed to what you think is right. From your stance and your perspective.
Yes. And you're right with that, because oftentimes when they speak to you about these things, they want a little bit more. They want to have big conversations too, deep discussions. They want to have big conversations.
And that is why for our Father-Son retreat, the first session is around communication.
They want to speak to you about things.
How do you communicate as a father to your child? How do you build that connection? Right? What are some of the tips that we'll be able to share with parents when they come in that session? And so we've carefully thought about how we wanted to approach it, and based on what we're seeing happening in our community now.
It's serious. I know.
And another area we're going to be looking at also in the Father-Son retreat is how do you show up, Hammer? How do you show up? We're going to be doing the dressing aspect, etc. But even deeper down, how do you really show up for a young person? And I just had a conversation at one of the churches this weekend. Persons know when you're genuine, and persons know you're just doing it out of need, wanting to,
you can
or
tell.
Almost obligation. You could tell. So how do you really show up for a male child? How do you really show up for a young child? Is it always when you want to punish more of the punitive approaches, but do you show up outside of crisis just to see how they're doing, just have a chit chat, a conversation, and just on a level ground, etc. So that's really, really critical.
It's very critical. All right, good stuff, guys. You heard this, so man. So support Men's Week, and again, the theme for Men's Week this year is tell me is the theme for Men's Week this year is
men showing up, guide, connect, build.
All right,
men showing up, guide, connect, Bell.
All right.
And we'd have started on Sunday,
Sunday,
and
the church
we're
service?
going through until Sunday the 21st, which
Yeah.
is Father's Day. On Saturday, we're hosting our National Men's Conference at Red Dragon Disco from 9 to 6, and then we have our Father-Son Retreat from 11:30 through 4 o'clock. And so we're inviting persons to come out. You can call us at 497-3930 if you need to speak to myself or Mrs. Bradley. We do have, different support services that we can offer. So if you need transportation, if you want to come and you may have another child that you need to take care of, we can offer caring services. And so just give us a call, speak to us. We're very open to discuss how we can support you to ensure that you're able to attend and participate.
Great.
And even as we wind down with you, Hammer, we also have an additional support, that of a 24/7 psychosocial hotline.
Oh yeah, the hotline.
So yes,
the safe
just
hotline?
safe, yes,
Yeah.
7233. So if persons just want to call and just talk, it operates as a 911, meaning that you don't need to have any monies or any credit on your phone to call. Just anytime, if you just feel to chat, feel free to reach out at 7233. It spells safe. So we are at the ministry, but you could also get some additional support via online. So we're looking forward to seeing
Yes.
I Saturday.
A question came from online. I want to go up. Will it be streamed at all? People asking in the streaming.
We won't do full streaming. We may go live at certain parts throughout the day.
Okay.
But we really want this space to be safe.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Deliberate on that.
You heard that? Good.
Yes.
Good. We heard that. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So looking forward again. I'm going to pass you because I'm invested in this for sure. I love the youngsters. I mean, I do my bit here with the young boys in the area. They speak a lot, and I know for sure this is a great idea for them. And it is also part of the community grounding, foundation grounding for youngsters. We need more of this in society. Every time we hear bad things happening, my mind runs on you guys sometimes. The work you do there, I said the young boys, because again the community needs this stuff. Because what you're now doing is what used to happen back in the day naturally. My father died when I was a little boy. I mean 7 years old. But after that, it was around place, and uncles, older men, they sat and they talked to you, and you found that worked well for you, and it went on from there. And he became a man. And you know what was important? You were young, but the older guys never chased your way, never ran your way. You always feel like a little big man because you were there among the fellas having conversations. You see, and and they taught you lots of things below over the years. So I understand the value of having those those conversations with youngsters for sure. I've benefited from that myself as a man. So thank you, and you have my support, right? So all the best. Have a good one. Enjoy, okay? All the best to you. Take care, all right? Okay, good. All right, have a good one. Okay, so it's Men's Week, folks, here in Anguilla. So support it, please. And it is one show way of us saving our country. Believe you me, when the boys go bad, it's terrible for society. So these folks who were here, Gender Affairs and the Community Services Planning Unit, they're helping us save young boys. And we need more of those youngsters to become productive members of society. That's how we build a stronger nation as well. So salute the work they're doing. It's no ordinary job. It's a lot of work they're doing, and I want to commend them and support them and wholeheartedly as well. All right. So folks, so where we are now, we're just about 14 down after the 10 o'clock hour. That's our time here, and I'm going to take a quick break and get back to you 10:30 there, about 10:40. Rasta wants to be with me shortly. Also, we're going to have Brigade. Carnival is here, folks. Carnival is coming. It's coming for sure. And I would have told you before that lots of our activities will begin to pivot towards Carnival short. We're into it right now for sure here on Klass FM, and I would have told you that before. So Carnival today will be coming today on Klass FM. Brigade Dawn will be with us today as well, speaking Carnival baby right here on Klass FM, right? So the countdown is on. So right now I'm going to leave you for a bit and get back to you now while right here on Klass FM, Radio 92.9. DJ Hammer, I'm in your company right now here, man, and let me just get me going here, and I'm going to get right back to you right here, man. So Klass FM Radio 92.9. DJ Hammer, I'm in your company. Also, folks, South Valley Community. South Valley Community presents a big event as well. Before I get me out, I have to take care for us today's SIP program as well. Brought to you by Coffee O'Clock at the Caribbean Commercial Complex. And also, South Valley Community, folks, presents a big event. They're going to have a big event there in South Valley this coming Saturday, a walkathon an exercise drive there in South Valley as well. So folks, be a part of it. You can't miss it. Let the folks know that we sent you from Klass FM Radio 92.9, okay? The South Valley Community Club presents a walkathon and a workout session on Saturday, June 20th, starting at 5:30 a.m. at the Almond Tree in South Valley, next to Lansing Bowl Cultural Center. Yes, be a part of this walkathon and workout session. Breakfast will be served from 7:30 to 10 a.m. The breakfast menu includes saltfish, Johnny cakes, boiled eggs, fried plantain, stew hot dogs, garden salad, and bush tea. Mark down the date. Saturday, June 20th. It's the South Valley Community Club presenting a walkathon and a workout session. Be active, eat well, live better, and remember, we are stronger and healthier together. See you there. Okay, you heard that. So be a part. Check it out for sure, guys. Check it out for sure, man. And right now we're going now for our today's SIP program here on Klass FM Radio, brought to you by Coffee O'Clock, the Caribbean Commercial Complex. Here we go.
A beautiful new day is wished to one and all. This is your SIP for today, and it's brought to you by Coffee O'Clock. Your word for today comes from Psalm 3, verse 3, and it reads, "But you, O Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, and the one who lifts my head high." This is a popular and comforting verse that declares God's protection and honor over his people. King David wrote this psalm while fleeing from conflict. Despite being in deep trouble and outnumbered, David recognized God as his ultimate defender. We too, at the hardest times in our lives, can see God as our ultimate defender, the only one that can fight for us and fight fear. David refused to seek his own honor. Instead, he found his dignity and worth in God. God the Father, the lifter of our heads. He is the only one that can restore hope, confidence, and victory in times of shame or deep sorrow. Today, I urge you to put your steadfast trust in God during times of great crisis, sorrow, pain, especially when we are tired and feel like giving up. Remember, God is on your side and will defend his children. Today, as you go about doing your work, take some time to relax and sip on the goodness of God. And here is a pour that you can sip on in this time. Psalm 34:19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth out of them all. Be encouraged, my friends, and do have a wonderful and a blessed day.
Okay, that's your today's program brought to you by Coffee O'Clock, the Caribbean Commercial Complex, and to let you know that you can join us here. That's tomorrow morning around the same time for another presentation. We thank you for listening. All right, so folks, give me a few. I'll be back with you in a bit right here on Klass FM. You just hold the spot you've got, man. Klass FM Radio 92.9. Yeah.
Welcome to AIM, an inspiring moment, produced by Marilyn Hodge of the Wellness Center in collaboration with Klass FM Radio.
Our topic today is Fathers, what legacy will you leave behind? I am your host, Kenneth Hodge.
Thank you, Lord, for the gift you gave, a gentle hand so strong and brave. Through sleepless nights and working days, you showed me love in quiet ways. Not seeking praise, you stood so tall. You gave your life to give your all. A father like you, Lord, how could I ask for?
Fathers, have you ever thought about what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind for your children, your family, and your friends when you pass on? Have you ever considered how you want others to remember you? The reality is that every life leaves a legacy. That is not an option. What will be yours? The truth is that right now you are working on the legacy you are going to leave. Leaving a legacy involves far more than handing down a monetary inheritance or passing on a good family name. For those things will surely pass away and forever be forgotten. When our lives come to an end, it would not matter how much money was left in the bank, or how many vehicles we owned, or how big our houses were, or how many earthly possessions we accumulated. It will be, what impact did we make on the lives of people who God brought